All right, we have someone who's visiting the IDP camp today in Anambra State and will be giving us a full report of what the current situation is. The person will be joining us live on the show tomorrow, so please do well to join us again if you'd like further updates. And as much as possible, we will continue to speak about the floods happening in Nigeria and, the different parts of the country.
Yeah, I also want to quickly mention, because he spoke about the governor and the efforts that the new governor of the state, Chukwuma Soludo, is putting in. They've also received support from private organizations, NGOs, and the likes. But I think it's also important to mention, Anambra has 21 local governments. Ogbaru is one of them. Is the one pretty much closest to the River Niger. People will argue that the River Niger passes through Ogbaru in Anambra State in Nigeria. But here's the thing: Ogbaru receives, and this is with regards aid, and it's a conversation that we never really get to have extensively across the country. Ogbaru local government itself receives on average 150 to 200 million naira every month as local government allocations. If you check the FAC records from 2015 all the way to 2022, it's always between 150 to 200 million, and pretty much the same thing that's spread across all local governments in Anambra State. So on the average, they receive about 2 to 2.5 billion naira annually.
So what is the money being used for? Exactly.
So when we say that, I understand that, the government has its role, NEMA has its role, the federal government also has its role, in disaster response and all of that. But Ogbaru local government on its own cannot say, and the head of the local government chairman rather, cannot say that there is no funds in times like this to immediately help these people. It's not going to be a sellable argument, sellable point. The local government itself should be able to at least assist. There, of course, have been challenges with the governor and, whether they are local government chairmen. There have been those battles for a long time in Anambra State. But those funds are still being sent to the state government or to that state every month. And like I said, between 150 and 200 million naira is what Ogbaru receives every month from the federal government. And so there's barely any excuse or any reason why these persons should not be able to get immediate relief, immediate shelter, immediate feeding. They have lost so much. A lot of these people would never recover from the disaster that we're currently speaking about.
Right.
But these funds should not just disappear and just be used to pay salaries, and that's it.
I mean, there have been conversations about elections not having happened in local government elections not having happened in Anambra State for years now. And these are very important things to have. These are important meetings to have. Part of the conversation that we've been having in the past few months, even as we inch up towards election season, is the need for Nigeria states to actually break their umbilical cord from the federal government, because it feels like everybody is waiting for federal allocation at the end of the month. They're going cap in hand to the government, waiting for the federal government to give them something. These states should look within themselves. There have been conversations about them looking for, working towards building their internally generated revenues. And the local government is also a very key part in discussing the development of the state. If you find a lot of people, youth service corps members in Nigeria, for example, that don't want to work, oftentimes want to be sent to the local government to go and serve, because there are conversations about how, they don't want to work, they don't want to stress themselves, because local government just looks like people are going there to relax, to chill. Yeah. So what exactly is the local government doing? The conversations that the last local government elections held in Anambra was in 2014. Why are there no further elections? Why are we not putting much into questioning our local government chairman? So as we get closer, as Nigerians are pushing forward, getting closer to the elections, the focus shouldn't just be on the presidency. They should look at other levels of government as well. They're looking at other levels of the executive. They're looking at the local government. It's not just, who is the president of Nigeria?
There is still a local government office, regardless of elections. Funds are still being sent.
Who is?
That's my point. And if you remember, I think it was in 2017 that the Nigerian government, through the NFIU, was trying to break, like you said, break that control that state governments had over local government funds. And the federal government was made a decision rather to be sending the funds straight to the local government chairman or local government offices, so that they can be responsible for their finances and they can fix their roads, they can fix their marketplaces, they can fix their primary healthcare centers, the little things that they should be able to handle for themselves. Because for a long time in Nigeria's history, it has always been a situation where these funds are sent to the state government. The state government takes what it wants and gives, the peanuts, enough to pay local salaries.
But now
and
they
the
have
likes.
enough. A lot of local governments have enough to actually do what they need to do for their communities.
Yes, they do. But we never, even here in Lagos, we never really get to question what the local government does. If you look across places in Lagos, it's not just about flooding now. Security, healthcare, infrastructure, the basic infrastructure that you would expect to just be available, you don't find it. But nobody really points a finger at the local government. Like, what is Etiosa doing? What is, Anam do? I mean, these are different local government areas. Okay, well, let's go back to Anambra State.
Barrow local government area.
Onitsha South, Onitsha North. There's different local governments. What are these funds being used for? And I'm only sharing this because of disaster response and the fact that these persons should not just be in a situation like this and wait for NEMA, and wait for NGOs, and wait for the state government. There's somebody that is still not being questioned, and that is the local government office of Ogbaru.